Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the hottest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to the War Zone. I got my good friend Donovan Sadiq. Demetra K is in the building. We got an H-Town legend. Say, man, changed the landscape of music in the city of Houston forever with the likes of Fat Pat, Big Mo, ESG. Y'all know the deal, man. D-Rec in the building tonight. Rec Shop Records, man. We finna go in, baby. I want to say top of the evening to all of y'all. How y'all doing, man? It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Another beautiful day in the neighborhood. We don't waste no time. We just jump into it, man. First of all, welcome to the War Zone. And tonight we're going to chat with a bona fide legend, man. I know you had tops dropping. Man, I was dropping tops all the way down I-10, man, from Houston to Lafayette. Back in the day, man, just jamming what that boy had coming up out that lab, man. Want to welcome to the show, man, D-Rec from Rec Shop. What's going on, big homie? Can he hear me? Let's make sure he got his microphone on.
Let's see.
D, you got your microphone on? Hold on. You got your mic on?
Yeah.
Hold on, he getting his stuff together, y'all. In the meantime, man, y'all sit tight. My man having a couple technical difficulties, and we're going to get him up and running. So, hold on a second. He coming back. In the meantime, how was y'all day today, Donovan and Demetra?
Man, we just got word out here in California. They've extended the lockdown until end of July.
Wow.
So
They need to just lock everything down till January 1st and be done with it. D-Rec, you can hear me, big homie? Can you hear me? I don't know if he
The
can hear
end
us.
of July?
The end of July.
All right. I have some people telling me they can't hear me on Facebook. Is this something I'm doing wrong?
I hear you now.
I can hear you.
Oh, you hear me now?
You can't hear you. Can you hear him, Demetra?
I can hear him.
Oh, what's going on, big dog? What's going on with you? Can he hear us? D-Rec, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
So he might need to go back out and then come back in.
I can't hear Miss K
So yeah, he
or the
might.
general.
Tell him go back out and come back in.
You might want to go back out and come back in.
All right.
Cause it do that when you're on your phone sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's kick him out. All right, he out. So they're gonna extend the pandemic in California until
End of July.
what's the reasoning?
I guess they're just trying to keep a lid on it. Demetra, did you hear anything?
Well, really, because it's still going up in some places, it hasn't really stabilized. In Riverside County, where we live, it's still, more cases. I think LA, they had quite a few cases, quite a few people died, so it's not really leveling off. Including a lot of the colleges, Cal State systems, they're going to go all online and not going to exist. So they're going to be closed for the fall. Well, not closed, but they're going to hold the students education online.
All right, D, you can hear us now? Can you hear us? He can't hear us.
His phone. Can you hear us?
I don't know if he can hear us, man.
Yeah, I hear y'all. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. What's going on with you, big dog? What's going on with you? I don't think he can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you.
And so he can't hear you.
Relay it. Mhm.
So if you go back out again and come back, maybe it'll work. Sometimes it's weird with the phone. Sorry.
All right, no problem. My bad.
All right. So the pandemic is stretched out until till July,
July
the end
15th.
of July.
Yeah, about July 15th. So
All right, this is what we're gonna do. If he comes back in and he can't hear me, conduct the interview. Let's run with it. I'll tell y'all the questions that I may ask, and you just run with it.
Right.
okay.
You guys, you want to come on the show? Make sure you got a laptop, man. It's tough on the phone, unless you got one of them $1,400 phone. That's just like a computer. So, I mean, I don't know what they trying to do in Texas. They trying to open us back up, and the numbers are steady going up. As they're opening more testing sites, the numbers are steadily going up. And it's just like right now. I hope you got your funeral arrangements ready, because you're gonna need them.
Yep.
That's all.
I think they also said Putin tested positive.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Vladimir?
That's what the word on the street is. And now the other thing too, I think while we're waiting on our direct to come back, I think what people need to realize, just because your states have opened up, that don't mean you got to be out there. I mean, because there's really still a killer on the loose. And a lot of parts of the United States is still steady and going up. So you gotta be
Let's see if his mic is working.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you clear, man. My bad too. I apologize for not being.
Oh no, that ain't no pain, man.
Yeah.
We're used to it. All right, let's mute the other microphones. Let's see what we got. All right. What's going on with you, dog?
Man, just chilling, man. Trying to ride this Corona out, you know.
Well, man, you've been riding for a long time with the tops dropping. Man, people may not know who you are. You know, tell the fans, because you got a lot of fans on here. When did you actually come up with the idea to start the actual Rec Shop record label?
I had another label. I was in Atlanta for about 6 years. I'm from Beaumont, though. I'm from here. You know what I mean? I lived in Houston first, and then I went to Atlanta to go to grad school. And that's when I kind of got into the music thing. And I had another label out there. But I was coming back and forth out here, and I seen the whole screw movement. And so I packed up, relocated. This was in '98. And that's when me and Pat got together, and that's when everything jumped off.
Man, that was an epic time back then. People don't know. Man, that was the Crawfish Festival in Breaux Bridge.
Yeah.
It was going down back then, man.
Yeah.
I know people don't even understand the talent level that you had on that record label, which at the end of the day ended up being legendary. And I was just at the rodeo before they shut it down, and Chance the Rapper did Big Mo, the Bar Baby, and set 60,000 people off, man. He set 60,000 off. People don't understand the level of talent that you had on that label. What was it like to be around all that talent, the ESGs, the Fat Pats, the Hawks, you know, all them boys, man, Big Mo?
Man, I tell anybody all the time, I was just blessed. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, from the artists you mentioned to the producers to the people that even work with me, Laura, all of the staff, the team, like it really was a blessing. You know what I'm saying? I own other businesses as well, and I know how hard it is to put a team together to get the chemistry, to meet the right people, for the right things to line up. And that's why I know how big a role God played in it. And that's why I say it was a blessing. It's still a blessing right now that people still, jamming to it and loving it. And, you know what I'm saying? I take no credit. You know what I mean? Like everything was a blessing from God, and I appreciate it.
Demetri?
Well, once again, welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you here.
I can't hear her.
Oh, He can't hear me now. Okay, so tell him.
Oh man,
That's okay. Tell him I said welcome to the show.
She says, welcome to the show.
And
okay.
can he
I want to log out one more time if they'll be patient with me because
Go ahead.
I want to hear you guys. I really want to.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try it one more time.
Okay.
All right.
Hang in there, y'all. We don't get this right sometimes.
Yeah.
This is live internet, and so we can't really predict what's going to happen. So
yeah,
but the
one of the
thing to do is if you have a laptop, you have less of a problem on a laptop. So if you want to do it, we ain't got no problem doing it. Just know that if you do it on your phone, sometimes it don't work. It don't work right. So he gonna pop back in. We're gonna see if we got him. But then we're gonna roll with what we got when he come back. Y'all just bear with him for a second. He coming back. But I mean, they close in California and they trying to open Texas. Oh man, what's good up? What's good, Peasy? All right. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
What about me?
I hear you too, Queen.
Me.
Got you.
All right.
There we go.
All right. I'm old school, man. I'm still struggling with technology a little bit, so you gotta bear with me.
I think we all are. Anyway, as I was saying, welcome once again to the show. And so, what is the difference between Southern hip hop and, let's say, Western hip hop, like the West Coast? And describe Southern hip hop music.
I don't know. I sound smart if I say it come from the South. You know what I'm saying? Like with me, like music it's all the same in a sense, but it's different. I mean, it embodies the culture. So, you know, I mean, like hip hop has always been a reflection of the culture. So everywhere is the same, but everywhere is different. You know what I mean? We all, you know, if you're from that from a urban street culture or whatever, it's you know, different slang, different places, different swags, but at the same time, it's still all hood most of the time. So with the Southern music, like especially the era we were in, you know, we did a lot of melodic music. We like a lot of the real sound and the vibe of it was real warm. And then, you know, with the Screw thing, everything was slow vibe. And I don't know if I'm answering your question, but yeah, I love all music, and I think it all reflects where you're from. You know what I mean? And I was explaining that to somebody the other day. They were asking me about Pat, you know what I mean, and the lingo and stuff. Pat wasn't trying to create something new. Pat was rapping thinking it's just like Biggie, you know what I mean? It's just it came out different because we speak different down here. You know what I mean? We do different things, but we're doing the same thing. And I think that's probably the biggest difference in it. Other than that, if it's jamming, it's jamming. If it's not, it's not. You know what I mean?
Donovan?
You know, man, I used to like Pimp Tight. That was my guy when I used to listen to it back in the day. But how hard is it to actually start a record label? I mean, you know, the seeding of it and get it started.
Like it's now and then are two different things. You know what I mean? So it's like asking somebody, you know what I mean, how you open up a restaurant before they had Uber or something, you know. So now with technology, Uber pickups of food, you know, so technology and things have made things different. It was hard then as it is, and it's hard now, but the thing about it is you don't see a lot of independent record labels anymore. And everything has went online. So from a business standpoint, it's real hard to create a label now. You can create platforms and you can create ways, you can create different ways that you can you know, be a conduit to get music out. But just a real label like we had, where we had a team, a staff, and you support 3 or 4 artists, it's kind of different now because artists, they real independent now. That because of the internet, they're able to do a lot of things on their own and take themselves a lot farther than what they could back in the day. So it's hard to say. If it was easy, I would probably still be putting out more independent music right now. The business model changed. We had CDs, you know what I mean? We was getting $7 for a CD. So, you know, if you could come out and put something together, man, and sell 10 10, 20,000 records, you know, you could actually take that money and flip it back and create something with it. They don't have that luxury right now. Right now, it's all streaming and it's streaming singles. So I don't want to get too technical into it, but it's creating, the music business is a business, and you have to have a business model that works. And the one that I came up on, it don't exist no more. The way, you know, the whole way you do this now is different.
So let me ask you this here, because I mean, I'm old school. I've been doing music forever, work with some of the greatest to ever do it. And the state of hip hop right now, I don't care nothing about them streams or none of that. That shit now is boo-boo. I'm dead serious, dog, because you know, back in the Gap, you had to bring it.
Yeah.
You had to flat out bring it. You had to be a lyricist, you had to have the music. And then we left all the marketing, promotion, and distribution up to y'all. But you knew that if you was putting 100 G's behind a project, it had to knock. What's your opinion of the state of hip hop right now?
Man, I everything keeps evolving, man. So you know what I mean. My old man said the same thing about our music at one time. You know what I mean? Just being real, because he was from them 70s, man, with that love music. You know, like he had a different. It just keep changing. I'm able to recognize. I tell you like this. I feel like our music had more love in it, more substance in it. We put a lot more time into our music. A lot of these cats now, I'll be in the studio. They make beats. They make 10 beats a night. They'll record 20 songs a night. You know what I'm saying? And the guys that I worked with, the Double D's, the Note D's, and you know, I've seen them guys. I've seen Double D sit up and mix just one sound in a song for 2 days. So the amount of energy that went into it, the live music, a lot of the things that we did back then, they're not doing it right now. I mean, they got Fruit Loops, they got a whole lot of digital stuff that we didn't have, man. So it's a difference. But I could say this: I just worked on, I helped with a project, you know, with EXO and some of the younger artists out here last year, and throughout that process, even though it ain't the music we did, even though they doing a lot of things that's inconsistent with the way we did music, you still can tell which ones are better at it than the other ones. Some of them are better than the other ones. Some of them have more talent than the other ones. And so I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I love music. So you asking the wrong part. I love all genres of music. I really love music, man. And I don't jam them young cats like I still play our music, but I do have appreciation for what they doing. It's just different.
Well, old school hip hop to me is sort of like old school R&B. You can see Slick Rick right now, 30 years later, and will turn a crowd out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just there's no storytelling in the music anymore. Everything is about a bad broad or selling some dope. You know, that's why I say back in the day, you had to be a straight up lyricist.
Right.
And when you ended up in them rooms and didn't know who Pat was, or didn't know who No D was. You see what I'm saying? You mess around and end up in a jam session with some platinum artists and don't even know it.
Yeah.
But you had to bring it. You had to bring it. And this is my next question to you, because you're from Atlanta.
No, I'm from Beaumont.
Okay, you're from Beaumont, but you lived in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm arguing with people about this all the time. I say, man, Houston artists have a problem working with each other. They have a problem networking with each other. I say, now Atlanta artists, they figure out a way to make it work. What do you see as the difference between the Atlanta culture and the Houston culture?
I mean, I think you really just defined it. You know what I'm saying? The unity sometimes not there. I think sometimes, you know, they say lack of opportunity make people don't act right. You know what I mean? So it's harder to get that traction out here right now, and because of that, I think sometimes everybody don't really see the value in working together. But I try to tell everybody, I say, man, look, if the water rises, all the boats in the water gonna rise too. So it's better to be a part of a movement than to be a one-man show. And I think our time is coming though. I think the right people orchestrating things. I think if you leave it up to artists to control everything, this is kind of what you get. Because a lot of times artists can't see past their own career. You know, and that's one of the setbacks that came with the empowerment of the artists and the empowerment of the DJs, to be honest. A lot of the power moved away from executives, you know, from business-minded people. So it's hard. You know, I had a hard time back then when I had a label, making just my people on my label understand our next move got to be our best move, but it's going to be the best move for everybody. You know, your record supposed to come out next, man, but shit, Mo here now, we got to put Mo record out. You know, that type of ability to lead those artists is harder right now for somebody that played the role, you know, the executive role or the producer role, the one that put that together. And I think sometimes out here in Houston that we suffer from that. We have a lot of talented artists. I just like to see more of our business, music business guys, you know, the younger me's, you know, I want to see more of that. We need better management. We need better promotions and marketing. We need those type of things, man. And those people that understand the whole scope of things like that, they can see the bigger picture and they can spark a movement. Right now, I don't feel like we really have a movement going like that.
Demetri?
It's funny because my daughter's 27 and I'm 49. And so she listens to a lot of stuff I listen to as well, but some of the stuff they listen to, I'm like, it's got a dope beat and the production is good. I said, but I can never really understand what they're saying. And I'm like, is that what's going on now? Like all this nice production and just like terrible lyricists and rappers. But that's not even my question. My question to you is, you probably get asked this a lot. Who is the dopest MC of all time to you?
Wow. Probably Pac. I mean, because I love Pac, period. That's, you know what I'm saying? That was my guy, that era. But, man, it's so many. I mean, that's, like you said, like, it's just crazy because our appreciation for music and theirs is totally different, man. These kids, they love cadence. They listen to the beat and the cadence. They don't give a damn they don't care what type of, if there's no substance or not. They just want to hop. They just want to, you know what I'm saying? But that's what they want. We want something different. So, you know, that's the difference in it. But as far as my favorite right now, my personal favorite, probably Fat Pat, because that was my guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't listen to my own music as much as I used to. You know what I mean? Like every now and then. Yesterday I was working out and I just went into jamming that old Ghetto Dreams record, and you know what I'm saying? It just touched my heart like it touched other people's heart, because when you really listen, you know what I'm saying, to If You Only Knew, and hear how this dude broke the lyrics down to these females, you know what I'm saying? So Pat, my guy, Pac probably on the cool. I feel like one of the most lyrical geniuses ever. Of course, Biggie. You gotta say the greats. You gotta put all them in there. Bun B lyrically can match up with probably anybody on this planet, lyric for lyric, to be honest with you. And then, of course, you know, the Godfather, Face, my partner, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have a favorite, but I have some favorites, and I just mentioned most of them.
I'll line them up after the first one. See, I've been around hip hop since Ron was on the turntables for Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
And the greatest that I've ever seen, and I've seen every era of hip hop, it always goes back to Rakim. It just goes back to Rakim. That flow pattern, what he did, the way he took over the game, just out the gate, nobody could even stand up to him. And if you really think about it, he's one of the very few artists that anybody has ever tried to beef with lyrics. They knew they couldn't handle it.
Right.
And then when I found the new one, nowadays one of my favorite lyricists is T.I. And it's simple because all that is, T.I. ain't doing nothing, especially on the trap music album. That's just a Rakim flow with some Southern lingo and some cussing in it. It's the same flow.
Yeah,
That's why I fell in love with it.
yeah.
Donovan?
Hey, I just want to know, like, okay, when we have music nowadays, it's all automated and it's already preset. When you started your record company, how hard was it to break an artist, to get into the DJ playlist? How hard was that to do, to break that new artist, that new single?
Man, real hard. I make a joke all the time because with Pat record, like we end up having, success with his record. So people just look at it like, that was Pat, it was automatic. But it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I remember me and a cat named Lil Sam, he did my promotions, man. I can tell you we drove from one end of Texas to the other end of Texas. And my thing, I'd always come in and I'd say, man, this new Fat Pat record, I say, because Lil Kiki, Don't Mess with Texas was already out. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, man, he used to rap with Lil Kiki. I had a whole spiel. It took a lot of work, a lot of energy, because even though they were hot on the on the underground on screw tapes, still trying to make a program director take that music serious and stuff. The blessing came later, you know what I mean? Like after the relationships were developed and I knew more people and my track record was better, then it became easier to break a record because the credibility was there in the markets out here. But in the beginning, it's hard. And I explain that to people. I tell people all the time, like, man, you have to be patient about trying to break a record or trying to get where you're trying to go with your career, because you got to realize that everybody don't know who you are. And as a program director and even a DJ or somebody, you know what I'm saying, they can't just play everybody music. They're going to look like they took some money from somebody or something. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of politicking and dynamics that go on with it. And just like some guys are talented at laying out a verse, you got some guys that got talent they can go break a record and get these program directors and DJs to do what they need. You know what I mean?
Hey, of course you worked with Pat, you worked with Hawk, but then you ended up with a diamond in the rough, man. That boy Big Mo just went somewhere totally different. And that cat there till this day, you can just sit there. I actually like taking the rides down 45 Houston to Dallas. And normally when I'm riding, that's what I'm listening to. Because that stuff just to me just doesn't get dated. It
Yeah.
doesn't get dated. I mean, the production was immaculate to me. Y'all were doing things with music that 15, 20 years later Kanye West started doing. Y'all were doing that before they were doing it. And then the live instrumentation, it was crazy, man. What was the work ethic? Who had the best work ethic out of all them artists you worked with? Who would just go in there and knock it out? Who was the dude that would just, he got to smoke all day. He ain't he gonna go in and he gonna play.
Yeah.
Which one of them had the best work ethic, man?
Man, to be honest with you, hands down, Pat. No bull. I mean, Pat, Pat had every. I hate he didn't get a chance to fulfill, his career, man. Because as far as having the total package, the talent in the studio, outside the studio, understand promotion mark, I can be honest with you and tell you, even that Ghetto Dreams record, Pat put most of that record together himself. That's the only artist I worked with where we didn't have to, really get behind him and grind for it. Mm-hmm. Now, on the flip side, that boy you just got through talking about, though, that Motorola. Mo it's just a whole nother type of, I can't take nothing from Mo because Mo did what he did effortlessly. So much of it was like freestyle, like Mo melodic, his talent, his ability to pick the right harmony every time. That's why everybody can sing with Mo. Mo almost if you can't sing, you can still sing a Big Mo song. Mm-hmm. And that's, what I'm saying, that's a gift that he had. So working with him was just, what I'm saying, it was just a whole another experience. And I'm glad you touched on that because I don't get to speak on it a lot. But what we was doing with Mo, that's what they doing right now with music. We've been doing that. That rap scene, you know, all of that. That's you know what I'm saying. And it's cool because some of them do pay homage. You know what I'm saying. Some of them do come clean with it, man. And you know, and I appreciate that. But we started that. You know what I'm saying. That's facts. And
Now I'm gonna say this here because you from Beaumont.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that music scene down in that Golden Triangle, man.
Yeah.
Them boys, CPs and them,
Yeah.
Pimp them hiding off up in Port Arthur,
Yeah.
DMD. Man, that thing down there was lit for a minute, man. If you
Yeah.
was looking for some major league production down south, all you had to do was take a trip down I-10 because you could get it down that way, man. So you come from a very musically inclined area, that Golden Triangle, and I just applaud you, dude, for doing what you did for some good cats that just was trying to get up out the neighborhood, and you almost made it with a few of them. You know, just so happened some things happened, but I will agree with you that Pat was ready to explode. That was
Yeah.
Biggie before Biggie. He ready to explode, man. And if he make it, I think the whole music scene would have been totally different.
Without a doubt, man. And I can honestly, God, truthfully tell you that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the artists, they got it in the booth, but Pat had it outside the booth. You know what I'm saying? Pat really understood what he was trying to do, and he understood exactly where he was trying to go with it. And it sounds like it's simple, but it's really not. I work with a lot of artists that don't understand that part. They got the talent, but they don't know where they want to go with themselves. They don't know, you know, what direction to go in next. And Pat had that covered, man. I probably, honestly, Pat might would have made me lazy. You know what I'm saying? We probably would have never shot no movie. We would have never. I would have never learned how to do a lot of the things I had to do because Pat would have did them all for me. But after that, you know, with different artists, it was the same way with Mo. Like with Mo, it was different. A lot of people passed. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people passed on Mo because they thought Mo could just sing hooks. They didn't know that Mo, you know, that he could hold a whole album or record like that. And we knew we had a team. We had the right people. We could support that. So we could write around Mo. I had the best producers. So we were able to build something with Mo that a lot of people didn't even see coming or know that was gonna happen. And I compared the two because, you know, one was us having to build around the artist, and the other one with Pat. Pat just walked in and did it. So I ain't rob him of that. You know what I mean? I'll tell anybody. The vocalist on Top's Drop, shit, we went through maybe 6 chicks before Dana actually got that bridge and got that hook right. Cause Pat wasn't gonna go for nothing less. I won't lie. It was two chicks before that. I had already said that's a wrap. Cause I'm ready to get to the business. You know what I'm saying? But Pat was very particular about who was gonna be on his records and stuff, man. Basically, he understood the bigger picture, man. So I have to put his work ethic at the top of it.
Demetra.
Hello. No. So this whole conversation, I haven't heard anybody mention Megan Thee Stallion, right? So I guess I want to ask you, D-Rec, is she a fad or is she the real deal? In your opinion?
The deal. I'll say it again. She is the real deal, without a doubt. Like I said, I don't measure, you know what I mean? I don't try to figure out who's coldest out of LeBron and Jordan. You know what I'm saying? They ain't on the court together at the same time. It's different times, different rules. The game as physical as it used to be. For what's happening right now, I'm so proud of her and happy for the success that she has and the light that she's shining on our city. And I wish her more and more continued success. I say she the real deal too, because if she wasn't, she keep following up. You know what I'm saying? What she got working right now with Queen, with Beyonce, so I see growth. I see her continue to develop, and I pray she continue to have as much success as possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm rooting for the home. I'm rooting for the crib. I'm rooting for everything that come from here, because I appreciate it like that. You know what I mean? And I know the bigger picture. I ain't one of them. What we talked about earlier, I do get it. A lot of artists out here don't get it. I do get it. And I know that the more success that come from here, the better the odds other people from here gonna have success. So we gotta root for it.
Donovan, you get the last question, my friend.
All right. We always talk hear about like the Berry Gordies and all these people that have this big backdrop as the record mogul, the P Diddy's and all of this like that. But you as somebody who's worked with talent, somebody that's worked with talent.
I can't hear you.
Oh, there you go. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Dropped out.
He's gonna come back.
When you don't work with that much talent there is, let's see if we can get him in.
Get him in.
All right.
Yeah, my bad. I got you now, man.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Let me just get to the point. You hear the P Diddy's and you hear about the publishing nightmares and all this other stuff. But you as a CEO, record producer, when you see an artist, how much you're investing in that artist. So could you just tell us how much would it take when you see a talent to invest in that artist? Because it's a business. So you're going to take some of your money and put it into that artist. Like you were saying earlier, you had 2 or 3 ladies before you got to the one that needed to do the hook. So how much money does it take in general when you see an artist that you would have to do to put into that person to get them to go where they need to go?
I mean, that's the point that I was getting at earlier. I had when I was putting out a lot of new music and stuff, I had a formula, you know what I'm saying? I had figured out in my mind to do minimal proper promotion, being able to put X amount of dollars towards streets, X amount towards radio, X amount towards production, X amount, and the minimum amount of money that I could put together and release a record properly was right at 100,000. So at that time, we getting $7 to $10 a record. So at that time, my measuring rod for do I invest in an artist was, can they sell 10,000 records? And I gave that old school analogy to say, if right now it has to be the same way. You can't, what I mean? And that's why you don't have a lot of independent record labels right now, because now you're forced to, it's called delayed return on investment. And you got to have enough money to put into an artist for the long haul, because they're not making any money at the front end of their careers right now. It's a ton of money for them at the end, but it ain't nothing in the beginning. So unless you got, some long money, it's a long ride trying to follow an artist to the top. You do better to do what the majors do. You find somebody already generate money and try to find a way to get, and to participate in that artist, the rest of their development. But boy, it's a long ride right now. You can find the most talented artists in the world, but if they ain't got 500,000 followers, if they not, when they post something and they ain't getting the views, their music ain't getting the listens, it comes back to math. You know what I'm saying? It's more about math than talent. And a lot of success I had was based on that, because I try to say, if this how the majors do it, so I'm gonna clone how they do it. They try to cut their wrist down with the math, and that's that's my approach to it. And that's why I haven't really been releasing a lot of new music, because it's hard to come up with a business model that can work under the way music is sold right now. Yeah, I still love it. I still have a talent. I know what to work, but it's hard. Like you said, how am I just throw $100,000 at something and I'm only gonna get back 10? How many times I'm gonna do that? So it's real hard. And then on the flip side, we wait on these artists to get so far down the road before we willing to throw some money at it. But by the time they get that far down the road, they like, nigga, I want your money. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different era. That's why you don't have the Bad Boys. That's why you don't have the No Limits. That's why you don't see the Rap-A-Lot, the rec shops, and all that on every block anymore. the business model is totally different now.
Well, man, I appreciate you stopping by. You can come by anytime you get ready. You know, let us know what you're working on, and we gonna support you, brother, because you kept me out that penitentiary many days because I just go listen to that music and drink that drink and go sit up in the highs, man. When it get hot in the streets, man. So on the real, dog, thank you. I'm definitely proud of you, brother. You know, because you could have been anything else besides an entrepreneur. You could have been anything else. So you're definitely you're a bright spot in the lives of us that really love hip hop, especially in the city of Houston, man.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me. I love what y'all doing. That platform is standing strong, man. We need it, and you got my support as well. Anything y'all need, including next time, I won't be on my phone. I'll be on front of a computer. So, but appreciate y'all having me, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
Man.
Job, man. The history
Man.
behind that cat and what he did is just amazing, bro. It's amazing. But I wanna kind of continue this hip hop conversation. You know, right now, you got that little boy Tekashi 6ix9ine with the snitcher thing. You know, even they did him kind of raw. I want to know y'all opinion on Tekashi 6ix9ine with the snitching, and if y'all out there, y'all might need to share the video. You should have been sharing it, but you don't want to miss this because I got something on my mind. So, Demetria, tell me what you feel about Tekashi and this whole snitching thing right now.
Well, quite honestly, I don't know a whole lot about Tekashi 6ix9ine except for he looks like a troll doll with all the colorful hair and the tattoos. He's like a troll Chucky doll all mixed together. But from what I understand, he just got released from prison. He was looking at about doing 50 years for some gang activity and all this other stuff. And so he turned state's evidence, I guess, if you will, for a street term. He snitched. And so there's a lot of internet gangsters who are saying, oh man, he a snitch. I wouldn't have told. And it's like, it's easy for you to say all of that from the confines of your computer. But if you're honestly looking at, hell, some of these people out there couldn't do 5 days in prison. So how you gonna advocate for somebody to do something you ain't gonna do? And so if it was me, who I need to tell on? You know, especially if I was in a situation like a Tekashi 6ix9ine where it seems like he's got a bunch of money. I mean, hell, a felony ain't gonna hurt him. He's got a lot of money. He can go do his own thing. But, you know, if me, I'm telling. Sorry. I mean, especially if that'd be different if I really didn't have anything to do with it. You know what I mean? Then I'm telling on everybody. Now, if I was, complicit and, I would have something to do with the major goings on, then I'll probably take the bid since I'm guilty, really. But if I didn't have that much to do with it, I'm telling.
Donovan, I'm gonna go last.
Yeah. Well, with the way the music is nowadays, I mean, it's almost like he's okay. Number one, you got a lot of studio gangsters out there, right? Snoop Dogg was never a real gangster, as we know here in California. Going to juvenile thing is not prison.
That don't count.
Yeah, that don't count. So, like Tekashi's situation, he's I guess legitimized his situation. So now he can go and rap a little bit about that. Because to me, I'm not saying it's a win-win, but it's like he's now could rap about stuff that he's now gone through and make money off of that. I'm not saying, the guy's a, great rapper, because I never heard any of his stuff because we're on the West Coast. So, we only get G-Funk out here, okay? We get the G-Funk. But, I just think it's any kind of publicity is good publicity. So now he's got street cred, according to these kids, because when I see a suburbanite, especially here in California, and they got the killer mark on their face, I look at those kids and I say, if you ran into a real gangster and a real killer, you would shit in your pants. And that's what these kids are doing now. They're just marketing stuff and trying to make money off of it. I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm just saying, I just don't see a downside for him not making money off of this?
I think the people that's trying to hold him to a standard are some old school cats. We live by a different code in the streets. First of all, he would have never made it in whatever facility that he was in 25 years ago. So as soon as you come through the door and you're a rat, they finna holler at you, man. So I think you got some folk around here that's old school. Man, he a ratting, but you holding him to a standard that doesn't exist anymore. These kids come from the suburbs. These kids are not street gangsters, man. They're not that. Therefore, they can never live by the codes that were in the streets. Now, I'm gonna be straight up with you, man. I love y'all. But if you kidnap me, I'm telling too. You do something to my mama, I'm telling too. But see, we from a different generation. It wouldn't have been no telling, homeboy. I'd have went did my time, and the first day I got out, I'd have hollered at you. See, that's the code that we live by. So the old schoolers, you trying to hold these youngsters to something, but don't understand most of them sign a snitching contract when they get in the game. They agree to be a snitch when they get in the game. And all of y'all saying he's a rat, he's this, and he's that. Okay, so why is it cool for you to say that now? But then if somebody murders somebody in your family, you want somebody to tell. Come on, man. Rats exist. And Tekashi is one of the smartest rats I ever met. To get out of jail and get 2 million streams, and I got to give it to him. The song is jamming. But the problem is they're going to have a hard time really marketing him. Because when it's time to travel, you ain't in the confines of your house no more, partner. And in some of these cities that you're going to go to, you're going to have to live by them street codes that a lot of these cats live by. So I think us old schoolers are holding him to a standard that these kids ain't been abiding by from day one. These kids ain't no gangsters. I remember I wrote a song called These Ends Ain't Gangster, dog. They not gangster. They gangster because they talk shit to their mama. Dude tell me I'm a 5 Deuce Hoover Crip. For real? Do you know where Hoover Street at in Houston? You ain't, dog, you not that. So for me, I'm being honest with y'all, and CPs say that boy can't come outside. Yes, he can, because this new breed of gangsters, they done already gave him a pass. They done already gave him a pass. Talk to me, y'all.
Can I ask y'all a serious question?
Yes.
Like for real. This is serious, okay? Y'all sitting down? Why is it that he can't come outside, but George Zimmerman can come outside? And that's all I got to say. I'm gonna put that on y'all mind. I'm gonna put it out there and let y'all do what you do with it. Why can't Tekashi 6ix9ine come outside, but George Zimmerman be outside? He be running around. He be talking big stuff. I mean, he do it real big. So why is he safe outside? And I'm gonna put my mic on mute.
Donovan?
Man, you came with that one. That's for real right there. But again, like I said, I'm with the 5-star general. I mean, 2 million views. You're coming out it's a different era. You know, these kids are rapping in dresses and all this other stuff. You know, it's just, you know, sometimes you got to look at it and just let it go. You know, I mean, you know, R&B and G-Funk, it's just a totally different era now. So they all get passes. That's just how they making their money and doing what they got to do. Like I said, when I see kids putting marks on their face like they're killers, knowing that they went to Stanford University, I'm done.
They good at faking it, man. You got to fake it till you make it sometimes, bro. You know, because they smoke the good weed and they can talk the good game. See, I already know you ain't G, because if you get into it, it take 5 of y'all to whoop one. You ain't no gangster, dog. Gangster gonna man up. A gangster gonna man up. But in Tekashi's case, you know, I really wouldn't have cared if you screwed my mama. That I don't care. I expect her to do that anyway. But then when you assault my mom, you kidnap me. Hold on a second, man. So he got to be loyal to them type of dudes. You know, they stealing his money. You know, it's what it is, man. You know, I think I'm gonna ask y'all this here, and y'all tell me because my man CPZ just put it up, and I know that that's the truth. Who do you think is the most gangster rapper about that life right now? Lil Boosie.
I don't know.
Lil Boosie is crazy for real.
Mm-hmm. I don't know because I kind of just stopped listening to that music, and I just kind of stayed into my 90s era type situation. So like I said, I'm trying to revive R&B. We got to keep R&B alive.
But even the R&B dudes be on the good weed tripping. Chris Brown crazy. I mean, even the R&B dudes, all of a sudden they crip walking. I can't see Luther Vandross doing the crip walk. You see what I'm saying? Teddy Pendergrass throwing up the W. I don't see that.
Yeah, that's a good question. Damn.
Well, while y'all pondering that, I just want to address CPZ. I think that's his name. Mm-hmm. He's basically saying, there's people. George Zimmerman ain't been in the right place. He killed. Was it 2012? He killed Trayvon Martin. So you mean to tell me listen. I'm gonna make a disclaimer. I'm not advocating nobody to do it because I don't want to get us in trouble here. But what y'all not gonna do is tell me that it's taking people 8 years. The only cat that did step to George Zimmerman and he missed, and I'm mad that he missed, was a white dude. But all these people after Tekashi 6ix9ine and all these other people, why y'all ain't going to bring the noise of him? And because you know why? Because y'all not gonna mess with George Zimmerman under no circumstances. But y'all want to punk these little kids and snotty-nosed kids who, Tekashi 6ix9ine is probably doing what he's told to do. He probably ain't about none of that. You probably go home and wipe all the tattoos off. Those probably ain't even real. But these grown-ass men, and I'm not saying you, CPZ, but these grown-ass men behind their keyboards want to take it to Tekashi 6ix9ine, but they ever went to George Zimmerman's houses. Not one of them. So I hear what people saying, but then again, I don't understand it. Like, you a gangster to this kid, but you're not going to be a gangster to this man who probably deserves it.
And I think that's a part of the problem out here with these youngsters. They looking at these videos and all this stuff, and they really think them dudes be about that life, man. They really think these dudes be doing all this stuff, man. You might catch them on a video every blue moon blowing some weed or something. It look fly. But it is real serious when somebody walk up to you and slap your grill out your mouth for running your mouth a little bit too much. I done seen it done. I seen it done. So, I'm just sitting there, like I say, he a rat, he this and that, but he a smart rat. How many cats that went to jail in the music game and get out doing what Tekashi doing? The only thing it catches up with him after a while when they can't market and promote him. When he can't go do the shows in certain cities and they make him no-fly zones, he can't go to Charlotte, he can't go to Detroit now. You see what I'm saying? So, it's a rough lifestyle, but I think the days of, dealing with snitches, the way that we used to deal with them, I think them days over. I think the real gangsters and got old, and the new gangsters soft as a box of booty.
And Lil Boosie never stepped to George Zimmerman. He said he's never met him a day in his life. So that's a lie. But the fact of the matter still remains, a man gangster stepped to George Zimmerman. That's just like I hear these people on the internet, or see them rather, talking about, oh, well, how come all these gangs ain't went to Georgia where these cats shot Ahmaud? How come they, they ain't going over there? And I want to know, how come you ain't went over there? Why you waiting for the gangs to go over there, or the NOI and all these other? What's wrong with you? You ain't got a car. You can't go over there and go step to these people. Like, why are we always waiting for somebody to do what we should do? But back to my original point that ain't nobody really answered. Why y'all willing to take the heat to Tekashi 6ix9ine for getting his ass out of the bear trap, which most people probably would do? But there's a killer, a murderer on the loose, and one of these people anywhere step to George Zimmerman like he is like free to roam the country, and he know not gangster or non-gangster gonna do anything to him.
Well, see, Demetrius, what you don't understand is, if it wasn't for this coronavirus, I'd have been there. I would have got my car, but I'm on lockdown, so I'd have been there.
I'm gonna put up Al Jackson's comment. He said, "There's nothing mature about living by codes." Let me tell y'all something, man. It's still real street codes out there, just real dudes abide by them. Snitching is the new gangster. Telling on people is the new gangster. See, the biggest fear black people had back in the day, you know your mom and them used to tell you, don't you do no crime with no white boy. They gonna tell on you. Man, don't you do no crime with no black folk. Not 2020. They gonna tell on you. If you're not ready, I think the thing that they really gotta register in their mind, if you're not ready to go do this time, then don't do it, bro. You're not built for that. I remember my nephew talking crazy one day in the house. Now, he about 14. He talking crazy in the house. So I told him, all right, you want to play, huh? I ain't scared to go down there. He's sitting on the top steps. All right, well, let me show you how to be if you was in the cell with me. I walked up 2 flights of stairs, grabbed him by his ankle, and started pulling him down them steps. When he got to the bottom of the steps, because he had to go down 2 flights, I started pulling at his pants. Man, what is you doing? That's the way they gonna do you when you get in there, boy. Man, don't play with me like that. They ain't gonna be playing with you. They gonna want your booty hole. Now, what your little 95-pound ass gonna do about it?
Hey, wash my drawers.
Or either you can do like Tekashi. You can go in there and snitch. So you know you ain't built for it. You know you ain't ready for it. You know, if they could sell platinum records just from going to the county jail, it's a whole bunch of Mr. Telephone Mans locked up. Because as soon as you get there, you on their phone crying to somebody. Crying to somebody, man. And all us old cats, we too old to be gangster, man. Some of us still got it in us. But those that's just hardcore gangsters at 40 and 50 years old, you know your ass ain't trying to go up in that place right now. It's too hot. It's hot in them Texas penitentiaries, man. You know you ain't ready to go up in there. And then you ain't got no people either. You ain't gonna have no commissary money. I'm just trying to tell you what you're facing now. So when the people put you in that room, you got to make that decision right then. Either I'm gonna stay swole up and gangster, I'm finna tell these folk what they need to know so I can go home. And that's exactly what Tekashi did. He ain't did nothing no different than millions of people do every single day in the United States of America. He made it home. Now, some people may be mad at that, but like Demetrius say, until it's you sitting in that room, and you know damn well all y'all on here with this gangster, you'd have told too. You'd have, 50 years, okay, if we don't give you 50, we're going to give you 2. You're going to do 6 months and you're going to go home. Y'all signing that paper like y'all in the 3rd grade learning cursive.
Terry Marshall said also, I've done seen young dudes let their girls take charges for them. Back in our day, that was unheard of. But that's what's going on. You snitch now, and you let your girl take the crime.
I got a cousin gave the feds 14 years for just being in the car with her dude. 14 years. Never had any problems ever. Gave the feds 14 years, and he allowed her to take the brunt of the charges. Didn't say, hey, you know, set her free. She didn't have nothing to do with it. So I think that's, you know, really a lesson for a lot of women. You know, girls, who riding with your dude and he out there riding dirty, you gonna do that time right along with him. Okay. So and then I want to address, let's see. So somebody was saying how Boosie, CPZ it was, little Boosie ain't gonna tell on himself, I guess. He ain't gonna tell that he did it. Listen, if Lil Boosie punched George Zimmerman in the mouth, don't you think George Zimmerman would have said something? George Zimmerman has a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against Trayvon Martin's family of some trumped up charges. So Lil Boosie, I'm sure, got some money. Quite sure that would have made, you know, national headlines if Lil Boosie really did that. But again, my question still remains the same. You know, how many of these people, you know, I'm not saying y'all, but people who claim to be these gangsters, these big tough dudes, how many of y'all gonna go step to people like George Zimmerman? And to Gary's point, why y'all think the witness protection program is around? I ain't talking about these, you know, these wannabe gangsters. I'm talking about some real live gangsters, like Bloody Valentine's Day gangsters, the mafia. There's a lot of them that are in the witness protection program because they said, all right, I'm not gonna go in there and do this time. I'm listening. I'm gonna tell what you need to know. Y'all gonna rearrange my face, maybe take my whole family, give us names and all this stuff. And y'all gonna relocate us. So as I said, it sounds good because you ain't in that situation. But to be behind your keyboard talking about, oh man, he is this, here, that. First of all, I like to say most people who saying that ain't gonna bust a grape.
Say, man, it's real. I just,
Real talk.
you know, I tell you what, man. Tekashi did what he was supposed to do because he wasn't about that life. So what did you expect from him? He's not a real G. He's not a real street dude. So he did what he was supposed to do. That comes with what the way he lives. You see what I'm saying? Tekashi, Tekashi didn't need no Kool-Aid on his lips in the place. His hair already colorful. He was already ready to be somebody's girlfriend. So at the end of the day, he gonna do whatever he need to do to get up out of there. He gonna do whatever he need to do to get up out of there. But you know what? Karma is real. What they was doing to him, I just say it came back to him. He ain't really got to worry about, you know, the shot it for about 25 years. Maybe after them 25, you know, we might get out and still be angry. But Tekashi back doing what he do. And those that don't get it, you just don't get it. I mean, how can you not embrace Tekashi, but you're loving Chris Brown for what he did to Rihanna? You gave Chris a pass, huh? You're loving Chris. But all Tekashi did was snitch on somebody. Chris beat the hell out of Rihanna. You ain't got nothing to say about that.
We could be here forever talking about Chris Brown and Rihanna because I have my opinions about that, but I won't go there. But I agree with Zachary. He says real gangsters don't even want people to know that they gangsters. A long time ago, I had an opportunity to talk to this old cat. Like I was like 16 and he was already like 88, not talking to him like my man, but he was just giving me the game. And he says, you know, back then gangsters wore suits. You wouldn't know who a gangster was. But he said nowadays, these gangsters, you know, they got a blue rag or a red rag and everybody's just self-identifying, you know, I'm a gangster. But to his point, you wouldn't know a gangster. That's why a lot of those people, you know, back in the day got Bloody Valentine's Day is a perfect example. They sitting out there having lunch or whatever, and somebody had never suspected came by and took them out. And so I totally agree with them. You know, nowadays, a lot of people think they gangsters, especially with the, you know, inception of the internet, the home of the brave, where people just run free and, you know, say and do all kind of stuff. Keyboard gangsters, they ain't gonna bust a grape. And I'm gonna keep saying, ain't gonna bust a grape. It sounds good on here, but it's like, what are you really doing outside of Facebook? You know, and until George Zimmerman and people like him. And I'm not telling y'all to go do nothing to him. But until he's roaming free, take Tekashi 6ix9ine's name out your mouth.
I'm with you on
Tekashi
that
gonna
one.
mess around and sell 10 million records on these people.
And for the record, I'm not a fan of Tekashi 6ix9ine. I can tell you anything about his music at all. Like I said, to me, he's a funny looking dude. You know, I would never take him seriously. And I'm not defending him, but I'm just saying I think we need to just refocus our attention sometimes. You know, let the people he snitched on, let them deal with that. We, especially as Black people, and I don't even know what Tekashi is, but we as Black people, we got bigger fish to fry to be worried about this rainbow bright dude running around, you know, making all this money. We got other things to be focused on, right?
Final thoughts, Donovan.
Well, like I said, man, the more things change, the more they remain the same. I mean, we had NWA versus Death Row and all this other stuff. And, you know, we're all into that stuff. And yet here we are, you know, years later, people out of work, people can't find work. We have no Black wealth, zero wealth, less than 12 years. And we worried about a Fruit Loop guy who's going to make some money doing what he's doing. And I got to agree with Demetra. You got a guy that just got murdered for running and jogging in the neighborhood, and nobody's getting in their cars, and we're not all going over there and having a discussion with those people and that district attorney and all the other people that are over there.
Demetra, final thoughts?
My final thoughts are, I mean, I have siblings, and you know, we told on each other and stuff like that. And of course, what we told on wasn't that serious. Might have told that they got the last donut, they wasn't supposed to, whatever. But I just think we need to, you know, really be realistic about things. You know, like I say, I'm one of those people. I'm never gonna advocate for you something I wouldn't advocate for myself. So I'm not gonna be mad at somebody like Tekashi 6ix9ine for saving his own ass, because I'm gonna save mine too. You know, but at the end of the day, like I said, we got bigger fish to fry. Forget what he's doing. Tekashi gonna, like, I've never been so overly concerned about what rich people are doing, because he's gonna be all right. You know, I'm concerned about what we're gonna do, how we're gonna come out of this coronavirus, you know, in every way, shape, or form, because it's gonna get worse for us. We should know, like, until we get our shit together, we shouldn't even be talking about somebody like Tekashi 6ix9ine or, you know, what they're doing or what. Cut it. Like, let's focus on the stuff we need to focus on.
My final words to you. Don't come around me doing nothing illegal. I'm telling. I'm sick. I'm old. And I'm telling. I'm letting you know now. I'm telling. Say, man, stay out of the jailhouse, man. That's the main thing. You like the blues, you like R&B. Tomorrow night, we're going to get messed up with Melville Rogers. So if you're old school and you like the blues and R&B, you might want to tune in, man. I want to tell y'all to thank y'all, because I normally don't play well with people. I don't hang out with them too often, don't play well with them. But we seem to get along good. We get along good. And for all of those that want to know, tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, I got an exclusive interview on As They See Me podcast. Elvante is going to interview me. I don't think y'all want to miss that, because I ain't holding back a damn thing. I can promise you that. I ain't holding back nothing. So I want to thank y'all for taking time out to hang out with a crazy old man, because y'all don't have a crew. They really think I'm crazy down here in Houston, man. The folks think I am crazy as a Bessie bug. So if you're an elected official, you in the school system, and you doing something illegal, I'm a Tekashi 6ix9ine your ass. I promise you. I am gonna get you. So it is what it is. I'm telling. I'm telling. I'm cutting deals, man. Tomorrow night, we going old school for real, man. Melba Rogers, Chick Rogers is in the building. And we gonna get messed up tomorrow night. I might have to sip me some yak on this one. I want to thank my man, Donovan Sadiq, Demetra K, D-Rec from Rec Shop was in the building, and I am the 5-star general. We'll see you tomorrow night.